Tonight is Thursday, November 2nd, 2017. Tonight on Gay XYZ, Wendy Williams takes a tumble on live television. Kevin Spacey and his antics. Halloween, we're going to discuss what you did or what you did not do. And Will and Grace review. All that and more tonight on Gay XYZ.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. It's GXYZ. It is November 2nd, 2017. How's it going, Jason?
What's up, peoples?
It's me, Donovan, and Jason, and we are coming at you at 10:30, 40 something on the 2nd of November, Thursday. So actually, is it Thursday still? Yeah, it's still Thursday. So
Yes.
we're still on Thursday. Anyway, if you want to find out more about us, you can go to gxyz.com. You can also find us at GXYZ Show on Twitter. You can find us at GXYZ on Spreaker.com, and you can listen live to the show there or listen on gxyz.com. And also, you can listen to us when the show is over at iHeartRadio.com. So feel free to listen to us wherever you like. So anyway, it was Halloween last week, and last week, what did I do for Halloween? Well, I'll tell you what I did for Halloween. Firstly, tell us what you did for Halloween first, Jason.
I didn't do a fucking thing.
Did you eat something special, or did you go anywhere, watch TV, nothing?
Nope, nothing.
Okay.
None of the above.
Well, we had my friend Kathy over here, and Ken over here, and Michael and myself, and we were watching TV. We watched a movie. What movie did we watch? I can't remember what movie. It wasn't very good, obviously. Or TV or something. I don't know. But I had a special cookie that I made last weekend. And
what kind of cookie was this?
It was a special cookie.
Well, what is in the special cookie?
Special ingredients.
Like what?
And
we want to know.
Well, I don't know. It's Kermit's favorite color. We'll say that. Anyway. So
it's what?
Kermit the Frog's favorite color.
Green?
Yes.
You had a wheat cookie?
Yes, I did. And
how was that?
Well, I'm telling to tell you. Okay, first of all, I'm not a drug person at all, and I never have been. But I don't really consider weed drugs, but whatever. But it's to me it's the same as alcohol. But last what was it? Last I guess it was about a year ago. No, it was about 6 months ago, whatever. Kathy's big proponent of that, whatever. And I was over there and tried it, and I didn't like it or whatever. And I said, I don't like that. I said, I don't want to smoke anything because it's like I don't want to hurt my lungs, and I also have asthma. It's not good for me. So I said, I'll try it if I ever have it like in a edible, so you bake it into something, like a cookie. And so I went over to her place and got the stuff, and we made butter. We made can of butter. And then use the butter the next day to make the cookies. And so I made the cookies on Saturday, and we had each of us had half a cookie, and the cookies are fucking huge. They're like probably 5 inches big or whatever. And I had half of it, and it was really delicious. First of all, the cookies are fucking amazing. I'm gonna make them just like normal cookies for people because they're so fucking good. I'm telling you, they're really good. But I had half a cookie on Saturday, and it was fine. I was fine. I didn't feel like anything different or whatever. And all of a sudden, she starts cracking up and laughing. We're playing games or whatever. And then about 30 minutes later, I start cracking up and laughing. And then I understood what the big deal was about. So it's like, okay, I see why people like this stuff.
See, when I picture Donovan high, I would think that he would be like overly hysterical.
That's what I was doing. That's what I was doing.
At everything.
Yes.
And just being like almost borderline obnoxious at the same time.
No, I wasn't obnoxious. I was just cracking up. And then we went out to dinner, and she's like, oh my God, we were cracking up. And she's like, I am so not public ready. I was like, me either. So we did. So Ken was with her, and he took care of her, and my husband took care of me or whatever. We went out to dinner. Of course, I had my husband tried one too. And he's not ever done anything like that before either. And it was funny. But anyways, we went to dinner, and the funny thing,
didn't try it?
He did. He tried a little piece of one, half of one too. Oh. And it also did the same thing to him. He was cracking up. He couldn't stop smiling. It was funny. Anyway, so we were at dinner and everything. Everything was like, it was like every once in a while, things would be like, I'd be like zoning in and out. I would zone in and zone out, zone in, zone out. And it'd be like, okay, where am I? I forgot where I was. And I don't know. It was funny. It's hard to explain. But basically, I want to say that I understand why people who have like sort of like take it for medicinal reasons, like for anxiety, which I have anxiety sometimes, and depression, and things like glaucoma or blood pressure or whatever. People who take it for that, I understand why, because it did anesthetize my body, basically. I was like numb, for the most, not completely numb, but just like it like made everything, any pain I would have had, it would have gone away. And also, I had like no anxiety about anything. I didn't give a fuck about anything. It's like, I don't give a shit. And it was great. It was fun. Anyway, it was a fun experiment. It was fun. So now I have 6 cookies. I gave her the rest of them, and they're huge and they're frozen in my freezer because I don't, because I'm not going to eat them all at once. But their cookies were so good that it's like tempting. So I'm trying to find some way to give them away.
We should take a field trip to Denver and just try all the little edibles out there that's legal.
Well, that's what she did. She's from there, and she goes back to visit occasionally, and she goes to Reno too, where her family is, and there it's legal in both places. And she's like, it's just so fun because we can go there and just whatever. It's no big deal. And so I'm going to take the cookies I got. I'm going to give them to somebody who wants them, so they're out of my house. But because I certainly don't want all of them. Because I mean, basically Halloween day, I took a quarter of a cookie instead of a half of a cookie because the half of a cookie was so strong, and that was a lot less severe, is a lot better. And so basically a quarter cookie is plenty. But anyway, that's what I did on Halloween and Saturday last week, and it was a lot of fun. And I'm an open-minded person. I've always been pro, pot, marijuana, whatever, even though I never have done it or anything, because I always thought it was stupid. Because why is alcohol legal and not marijuana? It didn't make any sense to me because it's not. And actually, alcohol is worse for you than marijuana. But anyway, it's a long story. But anywho, that's what I did. That was my Halloween, so it's fine. We had fun.
Well, yay for you.
So anyway, I tried something different. Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about racist Halloween costumes. You said there was something about racist Halloween costumes.
Yes. Now, here's the issue that I have. Now, for years, they've been making public service, not literally public service announcements, but it's pretty damn close to where you don't wear blackface. You don't wear any type of racial anything for Halloween. Uh-huh. And yet we go through this every fucking year with white people, predominantly white people. Mm-hmm. And they tell you, don't wear this, don't go in blackface, don't do this. And what do they do every fucking year? There's some type of article that comes up about this. And you think in 2017 people stop doing this? No, I don't know. Here's my thing. I don't know why some white people find wearing blackface and it's just so fucking fascinating to them. I just don't understand that. How they just every year they think it's a cool idea to do this shit when it's clearly not.
Right.
But there was a police officer in Reno, Nevada, that was busted he went to a Halloween party dressed as Colin Kaepernick. And so he had the afro and the blackface and the beard and all this type of stuff. I'm like, dude, come on, you're a police officer. You work in the line of law enforcement. You know the things that have been going on in the world of law enforcement for the past, 5 years, it seems like.
Right.
Like, why would you go out dressed like that and then put pictures up on Instagram as if you aren't going to get caught? Yes, you were off duty, but it's like people, we go through this fucking thing, the same in song and dance every fucking year when it comes to this. And people continue to do it like they think it's the coolest shit to do.
Right. Like,
oh, come on. Like,
well, do you think that, the thing is, why, let me ask you this. Do you think that the fact that someone puts on blackface or changes their skin color in order to be a different race, if they're white, is racist in and of itself? Or do you think it's the intention of what they're doing? Meaning, like, if it's somebody who's dressing up like Andy Amos, whatever his name was, blackface and white lips and all that stuff and whatever
you can
that's
you can
one
dress
thing.
up as anyone you want to be. When you start painting your face in any type of color, to me, that's racist. And then he went a step further by making little, I guess, funny racist comments along with the post. And I'm like, that just takes it over the top. Like,
well, that's the thing. To me, I disagree with you that just putting on a different color makeup is racist, because why is it racist to do that, to change your race to be a certain person for Halloween, when people do it all the time to be an animal or whatever, and cats or whatever? I mean, it doesn't make any sense that just the act of putting it on your face is racist. It's not that. To me, it's the intention. So if this guy puts it on his face and he's trying to make fun of black people, or he's trying to make fun of people, or be a stereotype, then yes, that's racist. But if he's just doing it because he wants to be, let's say he wants to be, I don't know, Shaquille O'Neal for Christmas, and he's like a teenager or something, I don't know, because he likes Shaquille O'Neal, that doesn't make him necessarily racist. But I think it's insensitive, yes, but I don't think it's necessarily racist every time. That's just what I think.
Well, we go to this song and dance every year, and every year we have someone who comes out the woodwork every fucking year that does this. And trust me, next year we're gonna hear stories. Some dumbass is gonna do the same shit next year on Halloween, and we're gonna be talking about it then. Trust me.
Right. Yeah. And what else is new? There was a this artist in Miami. I don't know if you saw this or not. She's a University of Miami professor. Her name's Billy Lynn, and she's an art instructor or professor there. And she created an art piece, and in the art piece, it has three poles, like flag poles, or just standing straight up, actually. And it has on top, like a little eagle at the top of a flagpole, that you put on top of a flagpole, or whatever, on the top. And then it has three different KKK masks made out of the American flag. And I thought it's pretty powerful. I think it's excellent. That's what art's about. It's to make you think. It's to reflect the society we're living in, and that's what it does. Because a lot of people feel that that's what the fucking America is right now. Is racist, and I have to agree. And so she's in a lot of trouble now, saying that the university acknowledges this installation will provoke a range of reactions, including offense at the use of the American flag and the use of the KKK and Nazi symbols. Art exhibits that provoke reaction and conversation are not new, nor the unique province of the University of Miami. So basically, I agree with them. I mean, they're just saying that's what fucking art's for. So what do you think? I mean, you think that's wrong for her to do that? I don't.
No, I don't think so.
Me either.
I don't think so.
Me either. And I think, have you ever seen anything like artist? Like, it's, for example, this is one of the things you and I disagreed on as well. The thing about Kathy Griffin, and when she held up, Trump's head in that picture that she took. And I always said that's art. It's artistic expression. And she's making a statement with it. And that's exactly what it was and what it is. And people were like such up in arms about it. Oh my God, it's just wrong and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what the fuck? It's just art. And that's what it's about. And she got so much trouble about that. So
I didn't say it was wrong. I said it was I thought it was kind of extreme, but I mean, she can do what she wants. That's what I said.
Well, I'm not saying you specifically. I'm just saying, I mean, you and I disagreed on that. But I'm saying people who had said, in general, that didn't like the fact she had done that, didn't recognize art. But my point is, I guess, is that somebody who has an art degree as well as a master's degree and stuff, I understand art, I guess, from my own perspective. And so when I go to a museum or something, I see it from a different lens, I guess. But when you see art, does it make you feel like if somebody did the same thing and they had like an art piece where it had black people on lynched or whatever on a tree, in a painting or something, would that necessarily offend you, or do you think they're trying to say something with it? You know what I mean?
It depends. It depends.
The intention, right?
It depends only on the intention.
Right. I agree. I think it's about intent.
Yes, if it's intention is to show how America has been towards certain individuals, then yes. But if you're doing it, as amusement, then no.
Right. Well, let's talk about a white college student arrested for terrorizing a black student. You wanted to talk about that?
Yes. So in Maryland, let me pull up the article here. So a University of Hartford student. Wait, is this Connecticut? Yeah, sorry, Connecticut, not Maryland. I was reading a different story that involved Maryland. So a white student was arrested after allegedly I can't speak tonight. Contaminating her black roommate with bodily fluids. So the name of the girl who was arrested, her name is Brianna Brochu. I hope I'm saying the last name correct. She was expelled from the university, and she was pretty much doing anything. She had a black roommate, and pretty much she didn't like her black roommate for whatever reason, and she not tortured, but like did whatever she could to get her out of there. She would put, use tampons and smear it on her backpack.
Oh.
She would put mold in her food, in her
Oh.
lotion. Let me read.
Why doesn't she like this one? Why didn't she like her? What'd she do to her?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Let me see here.
I mean, just because she's a different race, or because she did something to her?
Okay, it says a white student at the University of Hartford in Connecticut has been charged with criminal mischief and breach of peace after she posted an Instagram message bragging about how she terrorized her black roommate for over a month. The student under arrest, Brianna Brochu, 18, was also expelled from the university. Now, in her post, she said, after a month and a half of spitting in her coconut oil, putting moldy clam dip in her lotions, rubbing used tampons in her backpack, using her toothbrush where where the sun doesn't shine, and so much more.
Oh my God.
I'm finally, I can finally say goodbye to Jamaican Barbie. That's what she called it, Jamaican
Oh
Barbie.
my God. What did she
Let
do
me
to
see.
her? Nothing. She
Let's
doesn't like her
see
because she's black.
here. I guess she just didn't like this girl for whatever reason. It doesn't really say why she did this.
Yeah.
But it just says that she just terrorizes girls. The only thing I can think of, I don't know. It doesn't say. It doesn't say. It doesn't say anything involving race, but it doesn't also dismiss it either. So I don't know. I don't know. It just says that she was doing all this to get her out of there, and then she was going on Instagram and posting all this stuff. Let me see here.
Well, that's interesting, but that's weird. That's disgusting. You think anybody's ever done that to you?
Hell no.
How
And here's the thing.
do you know?
Here's the thing. Well, as far as I know, I don't know. As far as I know, it hasn't happened. But let me see here. They said shortly after she moved in with the girl, after with Brielle, the black girl's name is Chanel Rao. She goes by the nickname Jazzy on social media. She said that once she moved in shortly after, she noticed that she began to get sick a lot. She said it started with throat pain. I thought that maybe because it was colder, I was just probably catching a cold. And then she said it got to the point I had extreme throat pain that I couldn't sleep, and I had to take visits to the hospital and that type of thing.
How did she find out? Did she have a camera put in or something?
Let's see here.
Oh my God, you're a horrible journalist.
Well, no. She said that the girl put an Instagram post admitting that she did.
Oh, she admitted it. Oh wow.
Right.
What an idiot. Jesus
Right.
Christ.
So, they expelled her for that. Like I said, it doesn't rule out race, but it doesn't dismiss it either. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's like the roommate
I feel like
from
it
hell.
has something to do with it, but I don't know.
That's horrible. That's sad. Well, that's disgusting.
And this girl that did all this shit to this poor girl, you need your ass whooped. I'm sorry.
But she's arrested.
You need your ass whooped.
Was she arrested?
Yeah, she was arrested and expelled.
Good. What a fucking cunt. Wow. Woo. Anyway, moving on. That's disgusting.
Bitch.
Right. Well, this is what I wanted to talk about tonight for sure, definitely, and was entertainment news. Is Kevin Spacey and the House of Cards. I don't know if you've heard the most recent stuff, but let's just back up. For those of you who don't know, I'm sure all of you know, Kevin Spacey has been accused by Anthony Rapp, whom I don't know if you know who he is. He's on Star Trek now. He was in Adventures in Babysitting in the 80s, if you remember that movie, which I loved as a kid, by the way. And he was in Rent, the original cast of Rent on Broadway. I know who he is. Anyway, so he accused Kevin Spacey of, when he was 14 years old, Kevin Spacey was 26, I think, throwing him on the bed and getting him on top of him and starting to basically sexually assaulting him. And he got away and said no, whatever, and he left. And anyway, apparently Kevin Spacey's now been accused of this by more than 20 people now, almost, after this happened. But the thing is, though, Jason, is when he came out and said this, Kevin Spacey responded and said, basically, I don't remember this, but if it did happen, I must have been really drunk, and I apologize profusely, and by the way, I'm gay. Basically, is what he says.
I know, because they got, I think some media outlets got onto him before the way he did it. He was just like,
and I agree. That's what I wanted to talk about. Is the fact? Right. Don't you think that that's the most? To me, the only reason he did, and actually, Zachary Quinto came out and said exactly what I was thinking as well. That basically he was just trying to distract from the actual issue, which was the fact he assaulted a 14-year-old boy, and by finally publicly coming out, what everybody already knew, that he was gay.
I must have been the only one that didn't know, because I had no clue.
Apparently, it was an open secret. I knew forever he was gay. But anyway,
but then again, I don't follow Kevin Spacey like that.
I know.
So
Anyway, so since then, though, he's been on House of Cards, which is a really good show, which I watch on Netflix, and this next season is going to be this last season. Actually, this season's its last season, whatever's coming out.
Yeah, because Netflix has said that they're going to
canceling
pull the entire show.
Well, it's not just because of his admission or his apology to Anthony Rapp. It's because since he did that, Netflix has now gotten over, let's see, 8 people who've come forward who work on House of Cards with Spacey, accusing him of sexually harassing them. So production assistants and people who work on the set and guest stars and things like that he's apparently been acting predatorily towards them in a non-consensual way, non-consensual touching and crude comments and targeted towards them sexually. So that's the main reason that they did it, is because not only did he apologize publicly to Anthony Rapp, but he actually also has been accused by 8 people just on the show he works on now alone of doing the same types of behavior. So to me, it's really sad because, first of all, I'm really upset because he is gay, and he apparently, I don't know if he's a pedophile or just this one time he was into this guy or what, but he apparently is a pedophile or whatever. And to me, it puts in the mind, okay, gay pedophile, gay pedophile, gay pedophile, like most pedophiles are gay or something, and that's an old, bad, not truth or whatever. And
right.
That
and they
pisses
brought
me
that
off.
up on The View. I think Joy and Whoopi brought it up.
Yeah.
And they were just like, because Whoopi was very passionate about it.
Yeah.
She was just like, I don't like the fact how he said that as if, all pedophiles are gay and yada yada, just like you said. So
well, she said it made it seem, because he came out at the same time, it made people make the connection in their mind that gay people are pedophiles, which is not true.
Right.
I mean, there are of course gay pedophiles, but the majority of pedophiles.
There's all those straight pedophiles.
The majority of pedophiles are heterosexual white males. Yes. But anyway, so it's just depressing and sad because he could have come out. What he should have done, just like I think Whoopi said, is what he should have done is said, okay, apologize to Anthony Rapp, said whatever he said, and then like weeks later or months later or whatever, come out and admit he's gay. Not the same exact moment, just to kind of like, give people a bone to go with other than the actual issue. So it's
almost like he threw out the "I'm gay" part. It's kind of like soften the blow, as if they could be like, "Oh, okay, well that's okay."
I know, what the fuck is that about? That makes no fucking sense. So
I don't get it either.
I know. Anyway, it's just disappointing and sad. But this is just, the good thing is to me is, unfortunately, since we live under Trump's administration now, and he is a sexual assault. He's admitted to sexual assault. He's admitting to grabbing women's pussies without their permission, admitting to other things, and apparently been accused of rape several times as well throughout his lifetime. We live in a kind of society now where that's almost deemed okay. It's great that now people are fighting back, and this started in Hollywood, with Weinstein. And it's becoming unacceptable to behave this way, and that's good.
Right. There's been a few other people that's been popping up out the blue, being accused of like sexual assault and stuff like that. There was something it went away, but there was another, like a producer or a cinematographer or something like that was kind of in the news for something similar, and I'm like, what? All these people just popping up out the blue? But you know what? I don't. You know what? That's Hollywood.
It's culture, Hollywood. Yeah.
I heard Jane Fonda say in an interview years ago, she was like, Hollywood is a
cesspool,
dirty, filthy place.
It's a cesspool. It is.
She was like, a lot of people fuck their way in the industry, get to the top or whatever. She was like, Hollywood is horrible.
Yeah, I know, and she's right. It is. I mean, that's what I've heard, and read about. Yeah, and what's funny is, like, when I was a kid, I wanted to be an actor, and I wanted to grow, like when I was like a teenager or whatever, and I was like, I want to be an actor, whatever. And I was actually a good actor, and I thought about it, and the reason I didn't do it is because, well, one, because I wouldn't have been able to deal with the rejection every fucking day. I mean, you get rejected, literally 99% of the time when you're an actor, so until you're famous. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm not going to do this, but I'm too sensitive. Basically, I guess what I'm trying to say is, it would have, as they say, chewed me up and spit me out, as they say about Hollywood people, because that's what it does to people. And it ruins people's dreams and shatters their dreams. And people are so desperate to be famous, or so desperate to get a break, that they'll do anything to get ahead. Now, if they choose to do that, that's on them, because that's their choice. But if someone is using their power or their position to make somebody else uncomfortable, or to try to put someone else in that position, or try to suggest something or whatever, that's just completely wrong. And that's what sexual assault is. So, and harassment, I mean. So, I mean, that's Hollywood, like you said, it is the way it is. But fortunately, I think maybe things are going to change to some extent now, because people are more aware of it. I don't think everybody knew that these things were
Well, if you
going
would
on.
have met Kevin Spacey, probably would have ask you to sleep with them in order to get a role on a movie or
I would have
something.
slept with Kevin Spacey anyway because I thought he was nice looking when I was younger. And when I was 15 years old, I was already sleeping with 22-year-old men anyway, so I wouldn't have mattered to me. But so, okay, fine, whatever. But do you understand the distinction is that this guy did not want to have sex with him, and yet he kind of forced himself on him. That's the distinction. If you want to have sex with somebody and you want to go on the casting couch, fine, whatever. But if someone is trying to force you or trying to coerce you to have sex with them, that is wrong, and that's what is disgusting, and that's why I don't.
Someone
like
does it to me, I'm gonna say, who do you think I am? I am a lady.
Okay. Right. Oh, speaking of ladies, I think she's a lady. Wendy Williams. What happened? I saw the video, but what happened?
I shouldn't be laughing, but so for those of you who've been living under a rock, Wendy Williams, this was Halloween. This is the day before yesterday, so Halloween.
Yeah.
She did her Halloween costume special. Every year she comes out dressed up as whoever. I think last year she did Superwoman. This year she did the Statue of Liberty or something like that. And they just came back from break, and she was about to bring out a guest, and she was introducing the guest or whatever. And she started to slur in her speech a little bit, and then she stopped. Then she stopped speaking altogether, and then she was like
boom,
stumbling, and she was like, it was like she was trying to control whatever was about to happen to her body,
right?
And then she just passed out on live television, and you can see, and then they cut to commercial. You can see people, swooping in right before they went to commercial, that type of thing.
It was real too.
So. Right, and then people online saying it was fake. I'm like, that's not fake, because I've fainted several times in my lifetime, and I know
that you fake it all the time.
No, but I mean, I can tell when someone
it's
is
real
faking it and when it's real.
Me too.
And this was clearly real. So when she came back from, here's the thing though. Here's the thing. So she came back from commercial break, and she said that she's like, "Oh no, this is not a stunt. I overheated my costume, and yada yada yada."
I think she's on diet pills, is what I think.
My friend said the same thing. Here's my thing though. I was like, now if you just came back from break and say that you were dehydrated and you were overheated, but yet you're still in the same costume.
Yeah.
And like everyone was saying, they was like, but you're in the same costume. Like,
right.
Because the thing is, she was wearing like a sequin outfit. You saw what she was wearing.
Yeah. What was she, like a mermaid or a Statue of Liberty or something?
She was a Statue of Liberty.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And the fabric that she was wearing was extremely thin.
Yeah.
So it was
maybe in polyester though. Polyester does not breathe, so it probably was.
But even if that is the case, I mean, if I really had a heat moment to my body overheated and I passed out because of it, I'll be like, take this shit off. Just give me some regular street clothes and that type of thing. But yeah, she came back from commercial in full outfit. Like, I didn't understand.
Maybe she's trying to be a trooper. I don't know.
She said that she was like, I'm a woman, I'm a trooper, and we're gonna keep this going.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, girl, if you say so, don't pass the fuck out again. So, but that was my thing. So I mean, I'm glad she's okay, but that was the only question mark I had. I was like, girl, why would you come back?
How did she? Now I don't know, because I told you I stopped watching her about 2-3 years ago because I got sick of her. I just don't like her anymore. But I mean, her show is entertaining, and I like the topics and the people, celebrities and stuff. Fine, great. But she annoys me. I don't like her anymore. But anyway, I haven't seen her in like 3 years, and so 3 years ago she was heavier than she is now. She wasn't like fat anymore, but she was like heavier. Right. And so how did she lose the weight? Because I kept thinking when she was fainting, oh, she's on diet pills or something, and she's not eating enough.
That's what my sister said. My sister's like, I believe she's on diet pills
because she's so skinny.
Right.
I mean, like really skinny.
And it doesn't even look right because her boobs are so big.
I know.
It's like,
and her head's big too.
She looks top heavy. It looks weird. But then she came back and said, and then she said, people thought I was having a stroke or a heart attack, because when she started slurring in speech, I was like, before she even said anything, I was like, I think she just had a stroke. But turns out that she didn't. So
what did they say? All she said was that she was overheated. I think that's.
They said that she was low on electrolytes. They said the paramedics came out. They hooked up to all this stuff and everything in her office.
I think she's low on food. I think
turns out that she was dehydrated and needed electrolytes. Now here's the thing. Now I do know that Wendy Williams also suffers from thyroid disease.
Yes, and that's why I'm thinking it has to be diet pills.
So I don't know if that has something. I don't know if the
No,
thyroidism
I have thyroid.
triggered it.
I have hypothyroidism. It's not going to make you faint like that unless you have low blood sugar as well, and you don't eat. I mean, the only reason
Because she said low electrolytes. I was like, low electrolytes isn't going to make you pass out. I don't think. I mean, I'm not a doctor, so I don't
yeah,
know,
it will. It will. You need electrolytes. I mean, it's I think maybe it will, but I don't know. But whatever the point. My point is that if you have hypothyroidism, which is what she has and what I have, which means your thyroid doesn't make enough of the thyroid hormone, it's harder to lose weight. So so that's why I was thinking maybe she's on diet pills, because I know it's really hard for her to get that skinny when you have a thyroid issue. So I don't know. That's why I think she's making the shit up, but whatever. That's just my opinion.
But I'm like, then people saying, "Oh, she's stressed because she recently had the issue with her husband, where they caught her husband cheating and stuff
Again?
like that." Yeah, this just happened like 3 weeks ago. Yeah,
Oh, I don't watch anything.
her husband was sleeping around with like some 31-year-old woman that lived like across town. Or
But we
something.
knew that he's been cheating on her for years. I knew that a long time ago. I mean, it was all over the news, and I mean,
right. But no, this was recent. This is like in the past 3 weeks.
Well, if she doesn't want him to cheat on her, then she needs to get divorced, because I mean, obviously he's a cheater, and so she needs to fucking leave his
But no,
ass.
I remember years ago he cheated on her too.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
Yes.
you're right. He does have a
Pattern.
an issue keeping his penis in his pants.
Yes.
So
I mean, I'm sure I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe they don't have sex.
she may allow it. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe she's okay with it, but whatever. It's no one's business but ours. Theirs. Anyway, okay, so did you watch Will and Grace tonight?
I did.
Yeah, you caught up. Okay, I actually teared up. I actually did, because Rosario and Karen's relationship was extremely close.
Right.
I just watched all eight seasons like a few weeks ago, so I remember everything. But go ahead.
Hold on. Excuse me, people. Okay, so I did watch the episode. It was hilarious. The ending, I didn't tear up. I thought it was sad though, but I didn't tear up.
I did,
But maybe
I'm a
maybe
sap.
maybe I just have a tougher shell than you do.
You do. I'm very sappy and sentimental. So,
but I did think it was sad. I was like, oh, she misses her friend, that type of thing. But I did think it was funny when Lorraine Finster showed up.
God, the earrings,
and that type of thing.
Did you see the earrings? That was hilarious.
Yes.
That was so
Yes,
funny.
it was hilarious, and I thought it was funny. Karen's like, "Do you know how embarrassing it is to finish myself out in front of your father?"
Oh my God, I know. It was hilarious.
I thought it was also hilarious when she was like, what'd she say? I heard as soon as I came, or something like that.
Yes, I heard as soon as I came.
And then I thought the other funny part was that when Jack was at the podium speaking,
stretching,
and he was like, and he said something about Rosario, and he was like, "Oh yeah, we were having heterosexual love when I was on top," and then the nun laughed. I thought that was hilarious. So yeah, but the end was sad. I mean, it didn't make me tear up, but I mean, it was sad though.
It was sad. It's such a good show though. I'm so glad it's back, and it always makes me laugh. It's so smart and so well written. I just love it. It's fucking amazing, and the characters are so fucking great. I just love it.
Right.
Now who the fuck is Al Reynolds? Wasn't that what's his face's fiance? Star Jones'
That was
fiance?
Star Jones' former husband,
who everybody said was gay a long time ago.
Right.
Okay, now he's saying he's bisexual.
Right. So, in water is wet news, he has come out as bisexual. And here's the thing. I don't even think he's bisexual. He's a power bottom gay, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I feel like sometimes when people come out the closet and they do that type of thing, they'll use the word bisexual. And we've discussed it before. They use the word bisexual as like a gateway.
It's on the way to gay town. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, to soften the blow. Like, oh, he likes men and women, so that's okay.
But especially a black man, I think it's harder for him. I think that's one reason he's doing that too. But yeah.
Right. I'm like, listen, when he first came out, when I first saw him, I was like, he's gay.
Big time.
I'm telling you, he keeps saying he's bisexual. He's come out in this official press release saying he's bisexual. He is a power bottom gay that likes a big black 10-inch penis.
With his legs in the air, yes.
Exactly.
Well,
his legs up in the air for Jesus.
You know who else I think is gay, who may or may not be, is J Hud's fiance. Jennifer Hudson's
Oh,
fiance.
David.
Yes, whatever his name
I forgot
is.
his last name.
I always thought he was gay too, and they still have not gotten married. So
You know what? I thought the same thing too.
I'm like, okay, interesting. What is the deal with? I mean, well, first of all, I mean, and I'm saying this because it's true. It's harder for a black man, in my opinion, to come out than a white man because not always. I mean, it depends on where you're from, your family, blah blah blah. But I'm saying generally, the black culture is a lot less accepting than the white one. Which reminds me, I have something to tell you after this. Oh my God, you're gonna be so like, oh my God. Anyway, so I'm so Jack McFarlane. I swear to God, I took a quiz and it said I was Jack McFarlane. I was like, what? I am not Jack McFarlane. Sometimes I think I am though. Now I'm thinking about it. What was I saying? What was I saying?
You need to tell me something.
Wait, what was I telling you about though? What was I talking about? Oh, so it's hard for him to come out, blah blah blah. So it makes sense that he would have a harder time. No, so I tell you this. Okay, listen. This is some dish from my personal life here. Okay, so you know that I'm estranged from my father, right?
Right.
I don't talk to my father, and the reason I don't talk to my father is because he said, years ago, whatever, he tried to contact me. He did contact me, I guess about 6 years ago, contacted me, and he said he wanted to have a relationship with me, whatever, blah, blah. And I told him I was gay because he didn't know, and he called me a demon, I'm going to hell, and blah, 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 all that kind of bullshit. So I was like, okay, fuck you, bitch. And so I don't have anything to do with you anyway, so bye. So since then, though, his two daughters, my half-sisters, Emily and Courtney, whom he had married, whom he had from his current wife, whom he left my mother for when I was 4 or 5, actually, whom he had been dating before he met my mother. Long story. But it's like...
Are the daughters biracial too? Or?
No. His wife is black. Her name is Doris.
Okay.
Doris is quite unfortunate looking, in my opinion. And
I should be laughing because I don't know these people. But okay.
To me, she's always reminded me of a black Porky Pig. Okay, that's what she reminds me of. And when I was young, she was always nice to me and everything, whatever. Anyway, so when this all stuff's coming out, he was telling me about, I don't want anything to do with you because you're a demon, or whatever. She was saying, basically, God says this, God says that, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
So, on and on. So these bitches are getting on my last nerve. So anyway, I didn't have anything to do with them, but Emily, who's the older sister, she'd been talking to me on and off, and she'd been on my Facebook page or whatever, and I talked to her back and forth. And so I hadn't talked to her in a while. And then on Instagram the other day, she messages me. And she says, let me see. Actually, I blocked her, so I can't see the message. But basically, what she said was, I just want to let you know you're my older brother. You're my big brother, and I still care about you. Even I don't care. She said what your life is and whatever, what you choose to be, and da 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 da. And I wrote back to her. I said, do you think being a gay is a choice? A question mark. And she said, it doesn't really matter if it's a choice or not, blah, 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 blah. She said, it matters because I want you to be my life, you're my brother or whatever, blah, blah, blah. I said, well, it matters to me if you think being gay is a choice or not, because it isn't a choice. And she wrote me back. I said, no, I said, do you think it's a choice or not? And she wrote me back, she said, well, yes, I think it's a choice, and it's a choice, and blah, 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 but it doesn't matter, blah, 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 and, blah, blah, blah. And so I wrote her back. I said, because you're a fucking moron who's been brainwashed by your fucking church, your fucking parents, and you don't fucking know anything. So, of course, you think it's a fucking choice. So, so I don't want anything to do with you anymore. That's why I don't want anything to do with my stepmother or my dad or you. And so leave me the fuck alone. I don't want to talk to you. Goodbye. And so then she writes me this long thing on Instagram. I didn't read any of it. I wrote her back. I said, I'm not reading any of that shit. If I want to hear what you had to say, I would have not have blocked you. I would have told you not to want to talk to you anymore. And then she writes me back the next morning. This is what part you got to read. You got to hear. And she says, hold on. This is what I want you to know your opinion on here. She writes me back. She writes me back, and she posts everything she wrote on Instagram. I didn't read it again. And she goes, since you already deleted me, just wanted to make sure you got this now. Goodbye. I said, I'm not reading that. If I wanted to read it, I wouldn't have deleted you. She said, just another note. Me being black was not a choice. I was born black. So who needs to be educated now? LOL. Okay. I don't know what it was, Jason.
What does that even mean?
I don't know, because I didn't say anything about her being black. I don't know what it was, Jason, but I was having a bad day. And let me tell you, I'm usually quite a nice person. I'm very nice. I don't like to hurt people's feelings or whatever. But
don't believe it, people.
Once you push me so far, once you've pushed me so far, there's a point where there's a tipping point, and I reached this tipping point this day. And she kept going back and forth about trying to say I was an idiot for saying that because black people, I don't know what she's saying. But anyway, and so I wrote back, this is what I said. Okay, this is not nice. I'm going to preface this by saying this is not nice, okay? I said, I'm half black, you dumb, ugly bitch. I think I know race isn't a choice, and neither is being gay, but you're too much of a fucking ignorant bigot to know that, you brainwashed second-grade education peasant. It's sad you look so much like your mother because you're all three some ugly-ass motherfuckers. Nothing of my father in your looks, the good-looking side. Sad he ruined the gene pool with you three. I'm blocking you on my phone now, you fat cow. Leave me alone. So, anyway, that's what I said.
Good Lord, I love it.
I was so pissed. I was like, because they're so like bigoted. All of them are so bigoted, and they're black.
Where do they live?
In Balch Springs. Balch Springs. You know where that is?
Oh yeah. Oh, the
it's like
town that
south. Yeah, south near Mesquite,
yeah.
South Mesquite.
So yeah, for people who don't know, Balch Springs, Texas, is like the suburbs of Dallas. It's like, but it's like a different kind of suburb. It's like the suburb that no one ever talks about or goes to, because. I don't know anyone that lives in Balch Springs. Balch Springs is like, when you go to Balch Springs, like when you drive over there, it looks like you've entered another county. It's like just run down. And no shade to anyone who listens and lives in Balch Springs or is from Balch Springs and lives somewhere else now.
It's low and middle,
but it
low,
just
middle,
it
low,
looks
low
like. What can I compare Balch Springs to? It looks like.
Armageddon hit it? I don't know.
It looks like the south side of Chicago.
Ooh, God.
Um,
Well, basically, Balch Springs, Pleasant Grove, that whole area is it's poor, and I mean they're not like poor, like
right.
They're living in, they have outhouses, but poor in the sense that they just like have no money.
I mean, it's just an older town. Like everything looks old. Everything looks run down. The houses out there are older.
Yeah,
and not saying that there's nothing wrong living in an older house, but it's like it's just an older suburban community.
Yeah.
And I know lately they've been trying to like revitalize it because now I know they've been trying to like put up like all these high dollar condominiums and stuff like that.
In Balch Springs? Are you kidding me?
No, I'm serious. Like they're I'm sure they're slowly trying to,
well, of all places
the
would they do it there? God.
No. But I just saw something on the internet just the other day. They built these apartments and condos, in Balch Springs. No, it's right on the edge of Balch Springs and Pleasant Grove, somewhere over in that area.
Oh, okay.
And they're like high dollar condominiums and apartments.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, they're about to start gentrifying the place.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens. That's what happens when you can buy property cheap, and then you can build up, and you can make a big profit on it. Yeah, that's what happens.
And the condos are gorgeous. I've seen pictures. I was like, these are some nice ass condos, but
they're in Balch Springs.
But they're in Balch Springs. See, here's the thing. Even when the condos are nice, Balch Springs is like, it's not like a suburban community that's close to Dallas. It's like pretty far.
It's not that far. It's like it's not.
It just feels far.
It feels far, but it's only like 5 miles from Mesquite. So it's like south of Mesquite.
But here's the thing, though. And then why is Balch Springs so fucking dark out there at night?
Because they're
So can they not afford street lamps or something?
It's like a country little town almost. Yeah, it's like
we need to have an interview with the fucking mayor out there. Like, why is it so fucking dark when I happen to drive out there at night?
Oh God.
Fucking
anyway,
shitty ass town. But anyway.
But yeah, that's where they live. And the funny thing is, the house that he lives in still is a house he bought when I was 11 or 12. He bought that house, and he still lives there. He's paid it off by now. It's only worth like $50,000, but but he still lives there. And I don't know. They're just. I don't care if they're poor or rich or whatever. It doesn't matter to me. It matters to me the character that they have, and they have none. And they're bigots, and I don't like that. And always astonishes me when someone is black and a bigot. You know.
Oh, you know what we should do? We should interview them.
Oh, I'm so sure. Let's see how well that would go. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my God.
It would make a good show.
I'm gonna sit here. You see how mad I got when I was just texting with her? Do you know how mad I would get?
I could be the mediator.
You really think you're able to mediate me? Please, I don't think so. That's not gonna happen.
Listen, I can just give my unbiased opinion about why you guys go back and forth at it.
I don't
People,
care, Jason.
people will want to listen.
I don't care enough to ever talk to these people. So no, that's not going to happen. I did on my Off Limits show though about 7 years ago. I had my mom on my show, and we talked about how my dad was didn't like the fact that he didn't like whatever. Anyway, so we talked about shit too on there, but that was fun. My mom would have on the show, but I wouldn't have it. You should have your mom on the show. We should have both of our moms. Mother's Day next year, we should have both of our moms on the show. That's what we should do.
It sounds like a plan. So before we move on,
Yes.
for the people who was watching our live Facebook live thing
It was yours, but okay, go ahead.
when I was I did it under our page, but anyway,
Oh wait, before you say anything though, I have to say that I saw. Did you go back and read it? I told you he was cute right when you pulled up.
I know.
I said he's hot.
I know. And so the thing was, so we were going back and forth. So for the people who didn't watch, well, I was at Discount Tire because my check tire, the little light come on when your tire has low pressure, whatever. I don't know, whatever the little symbol is, the exclamation point in
It's different in every car, Jason. Just continue.
Parentheses or whatever. I don't know. You know what the fuck, and it's yellow and it stays on
Yes.
the entire time. It's so
You digress. Go on.
But anyway, so we get to Discount Tire, and there was this really hot technician.
I'm watching this whole thing as he's doing it, by the way.
I'm explaining to the people who didn't watch.
No, I'm telling them that I was watching you while this was happening.
Because Donovan was at work.
Go on.
So he waves me in, and he was like, "Oh, so you doing a tire check?" And I was like, "Yeah." So, and like the first thing I noticed about him were his eyes. Like he had the most piercing ice blue eyes I've ever seen. Like I don't think I've ever seen eyes that blue on a person ever. And so I was like, okay. So he starts going around, and that's what I was trying to follow the video with him running around. And I was trying to zoom in on his eyes, but he kept looking away. But anyway, he was really, really cute. So then Donovan brought up the fact, he was like, oh, he's my type. And then you end up logging off before I was able to finish up the video. And I told the people, it was actually a few people watching at the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, I said, you know what, Thursday, we're going to talk about this. I said, what is Donovan's type?
Oh, okay.
Because you never did say, you just said he's my type. And I was like, what, is he?
Usually,
he's white and blonde?
Usually, I've always, my entire life, been attracted to blondes and with blue eyes. Yes, that's I also like guys with dark hair and blue eyes too, but generally speaking, it's almost like my ideal type. If I had to like draw somebody up, or God say, give me this kind of person, it would always been somebody who had light brown hair, blonde hair, and blue eyes, taller than me or my height or taller. And yeah, that's what I like. I like Nordic looking men, like Swedish or German or Dutch or whatever. That's my thing. It's always been my thing. Probably because my half
fuck Shamar Moore.
My half of me is all my mom's family is all like from the Scandinavia and shit. That's probably why I'm into like blonde guys. But I'm 56% white and 44% black, so that's why I guess that's why I like more white guys than I like black guys. I don't know why. Who the fuck knows why?
That makes no sense.
I'm just saying. I'm being stupid.
There's plenty of biracial people who
I like black guys too.
I
like Shamar Moore. I'm not saying that I don't like other kinds of types of guys. I've dated all kinds of guys. I've been attracted to all kinds of guys. But I generally, if you ask me what my type is, yes, my ideal type would be that. Yes, that guy was like pretty much close to it. Yeah.
Yeah. So Shamar Moore. Speaking of Shamar Moore.
Yeah.
Shamar Moore is going to be on a new TV show on CBS, I believe.
Doing what?
I think he's like playing a cop or something, which is so cliche, like big fucking like.
What else has he not
cop
played
shows
before?
Are there out there now?
I know. I'm so sick of it. Yeah.
Like, I mean, but I'm just gonna watch because he's Shamar Moore, because I'm almost certain they're gonna have a shirtless episode, like shirtless scenes, and I'm just gonna watch this for that.
Yeah, he's gorgeous, man. He really is. Although he's
like
very straight, but I don't know.
Like that man, yeah, that man is Shamar Moore.
It's hard for me to, it's funny. I've never, like a lot of straight guys, I mean, maybe not a lot, I shouldn't say it a lot, but there's certain straight guys who've always had this straight guy fantasy or like straight guys. I've never really been into straight guys. There's maybe one straight guy in my entire life I've been attracted to. But generally, I mean, and still I'm not sure he wasn't completely possibly bi or at least or something. But anyway, generally I like guys who like guys, I don't like guys who like women. And so
maybe he was 81% straight and 90% gay.
Maybe.
Like
I mean, he asked me
just a few moments ago.
It was my personal trainer I had for a while, and he was gorgeous man. And he was always slapping me on my ass and doing stuff like that. And I figured, okay, that's probably just part of the thing. That's what straight guys do. I don't know. And but then he was like, one time he slapped me on the ass. He's like, I know you like that shit like that. And that's what he said to me. I was like, okay.
He might have just been flirting with
And
you.
then I know, and then, but wait, I'm getting to something else. And then he, every time he's over, like I was doing push-ups, he's standing over my face or whatever. He's like, you like that, don't you? You like that view, don't you? Or something like that. So I was like, okay. And
what?
yes. And so I was like, okay. And then one day he asked me, he said, so how do you, we're talking about, I don't know, I'd hooked up with some guy or something. This is before I met my husband a long time ago. And he said, so how do you know you're gay? And I told him what I said, well,
what kind of question is that?
Exactly. And I said, well, you are either emotionally and physically attracted to the same sex or you're not. You have to be both emotionally and attracted. Like you fall in love with men as well as have sex with them. And he's like, oh, okay, I'm always sure, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay. And so I'm thinking, you want me to help you find out? You know, I didn't say that, but I was thinking that. And he kept, and after that, every time we'd have our sessions or whatever, he would be like, you know, so what do you guys do? I mean, so it kept on and on. So we never did anything, but it was always like kind of under the surface.
He was curious.
That's what I'm saying. So I thought he was. That's the only straight guy I've ever been into. Anyway.
I'm the same way. I really haven't been into any straight guys. There is one guy that I used to work with, and he's straight, but I feel like he may be kind of curious too.
Yeah.
Because actually we just had this conversation last week. I'm not gonna say his name, but he was like, what would we talk? We got on the subject of it, and
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Happened. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember the conversation. He said something to the effect like, oh no, because I was telling him that in the past I had been with a married guy, and I said, well, I didn't know what front because the guy didn't tell me.
Right.
I said I didn't find out until later.
Right.
And he was just like, oh, so this actually like married guys that go out here and fuck around with dudes on the side, and I was like, hell yeah. I like there's women who are married to men the same shit. There are women who are married to men and fuck around with other women too on the side.
Yes.
It's the same thing.
Yes.
So he was like, yeah. So he was like, so, and then he was like, so like what do y'all normally do or whatever? I said it just depends on the chemistry. I'm like, it just depends because I mean I'm an open book. I'm like, I don't care. I'm like, it just depends on the chemistry or whatever. He was just like, so he's like, so are they like any married dudes that actually like to get like actually fucked? And I was like, yes, those are the main ones.
Most of the time.
I'm like, a lot of these married men are bottoms.
Yeah, because they're always they're already top already fucking their wives. They want to get fucked. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he was like, oh, I didn't know, and he was just like, oh, okay, well, I learned something new, and I was like,
Well, my trainer ended up marrying the girl he was dating at the time, so who knows? But anyway,
he still may be playing with someone on the side.
I don't know, but I hope he's not. I don't want him to do that to her, but whatever. So let's talk about the last few topics we got here. We got Tyrese and his Twitter rants.
So anyone who's familiar with R&B singer Tyrese, he's been going through, I feel like he's going through a mental breakdown. Within the past like month or so, he's been going on these serious Twitter rants about how, he does.
Who the hell is this? You just texted to me.
He's a model. I just want to know your opinion on it.
Oh, okay. Continue.
What do you think?
He's all right. He's got a great body. I like his hair. He's got nice hair too.
He's not Scandinavian.
No, I think he's good looking, but he's not. I'm not sure I would have sex with him.
I just wanted your thoughts. Anyway,
I think he's very sexy, but I don't think I would have sex with him. Continue.
I would, but anyway,
I don't blame you.
So he's been on these rants about how he doesn't lose his daughter and everything, and he starts taking a step farther by he went to his daughter's school and had a plane to fly over his child's school that said, no matter what mommy says, daddy still loves you. And I'm like,
oh Lord,
why would you do? And like, just if you just really follow his rants, and then just the other day he was on Facebook Live crying and saying that he supposedly was broke and that type of thing.
It's not broke.
But here's the thing. Then just like 2 weeks ago, he was going at The Rock because I guess Tyrese is in the new Fast and Furious movie. I guess The Rock is in it and Vin Diesel and everyone else. But for some reason, The Rock is holding it until 2018. It's supposed to be released this year, but they they're not going to release until January of 2018, which is
Why?
2 months from now, 3 months from now.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know. But and then he kept going back and forth with The Rock, and he was like, why are you waiting until January to do this? And then I was like, I understand you need the money now. I understand that you're broke, but if Hollywood is making this decision, then you're just gonna have to wait until January 2018 so you can do your press tour. Because I'm pretty sure these press tours and everything, they get paid for that by through the, whoever, whatever the movie company is or whatever. I don't know, but. He's just going through these Twitter rants and he's crying and I just left a comment on there just yesterday and I was like, I feel like he's in his early stages of having a mental breakdown because he's showing all the signs of what someone who's about to have a mental breakdown is going through. I mean, the crying, the rants, he's going through a protective custody because I think he has to go to court because his child's mother filed a restraining order against him because she was saying that he was being rough with his daughter, and that type of thing. It's just like he needs to see he needs a mental evaluation, like seriously.
Okay.
I don't know if Iyanla needs to step in or what, but or Dr. Phil or
I don't even
whoever.
know. I mean, I barely know who Tyrese is, so
He's an R&B singer.
Okay.
But he was best known for his role as, I don't know if you watch Baby Boy.
Mm-mm. Wait, you mean the movie?
Yes.
With Anthony Rapp?
Baby Boy with Snoop Dogg and Taraji P. Henson.
No.
Oh, the movie was too
There's a
ghetto
gay
for
movie.
Donovan.
No, there's a gay movie called Baby Boy, BWOY, and it's about this Jamaican guy I thought he was played him, but okay, go ahead.
No, this is with Taraji P. This movie came out years ago.
Never
It has
heard of
Taraji
it.
P. Henson, Snoop Dogg, Tyrese.
No, that's one of those black movies. I don't want.
Oh, he doesn't watch it. He doesn't watch.
It's just like
movies.
you and your white movies. You don't watch anything white. It's ridiculous.
Yes, I do. I watch Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Hardly anything, like I said. But go ahead.
I watch Curb Your Enthusiasm. I watch Will and Grace.
That's just come back, both of those, and that's repeats. Those don't count. They've already been on before, so it doesn't count.
So yeah. So he needs to see a doctor. That's all, and I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Okay. What about who the fuck is Jennie Mai? I don't know who that is either.
So I really don't watch The Real, but Jennie Mai, that's her name.
Mai.
She is one of the co-hosts on The Real. She's filing for a divorce with her husband, and the only thing is that she didn't want to have kids and he did. And I was like, why the fuck would you marry someone if y'all aren't on the same page about having kids?
Yeah. Right.
So I'm sure that has a lot to do with
people
it.
do that all the time. People get married all the time without being on the same page about things. Trust me.
That's true. So
Trust me.
They're getting a divorce because he wants kids and she doesn't. So
this reminds me of did you hear the whole thing about Kathy Griffin and Andy Cohen and all that stuff?
Yeah, we talked about it last week.
No, not about him hosting, not about him taking her place on the thing, but about her accusing him of what? Did you hear this part or not?
No.
Oh, she did a 17-minute video this last week, and she talked about how Andy Cohen and Harvey Levin from TMZ, both ironically who are gay. Okay.
Harvey Levin's gay?
You didn't know that? Yeah, he's gay.
No.
He's an idiot Republican who supports Trump, but he's gay. Yeah, he's been gay. He's always been gay. Anyway, yes, he's gay.
Didn't he used to be like the correspondent on the People's Court back in the
he
day,
still
too?
is. I still watch the People's Court. He still is.
I had no idea he was gay. Well, Andy Cohen, I did, but
yeah, he's gay. Anyway, they're both gay, and she said that he's been harassing her, and he basically called her and left her a message, told him to call her or whatever. Anyway, basically she said that he's like a scumbag, and he's like he holds all the bones in Hollywood and knows where they're buried and everything else, and he holds it over people's heads and da 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 da. And then Andy Cohen, she said, he used to produce her show, My Life on the D List, which I don't know if you ever watched that when it was on years ago, but it was an awesome show.
Yeah, I did. I remember. I did watch a few episodes.
Yeah, it was one of those first, few reality series that really did well a long time when this kind of started getting going on Bravo and stuff. But anyway, she won like 3 Emmys on the show, blah blah blah. Anyway, so she pitched to Bravo about doing her own talk show on Bravo. And they said that they think about it, whatever. We're going to do it, and then all of a sudden they said, "Well, sorry, we can't do it. We're not doing it now, whatever." And what happens? Andy Cohen's show comes out. Watch What Happens Live comes out the same months later, and
wait, but didn't she actually have a talk show at one point?
Yeah, but it wasn't on that. It wasn't that. It wasn't the same thing. It wasn't the same show. It was a different show. Anyway, so he apparently every time she's been on Watch What Happens Live twice. And she said both times when she went and watched What Happens Live before the show, he would be talking to her in this dressing room or whatever and said, "Do you want to do some blow? Do you want to do some blow?" And she's like, "Not really." And he's like, "Oh, come on, let's do some blow." And so he's apparently got a big cocaine-ish problem. And he said that, I don't know.
What? That doesn't surprise me about him.
Me either.
I don't know why.
Me either.
See, and that's weird that I think that wouldn't surprise me with him.
He's not. I never thought of him as some upstanding guy. I never thought of him as some perfect guy. Any guy who would have the shows, the Real Housewives shows, and do what he does is not going to be the most upstanding guy because he's not interested in kindness and lollipops and stuff. He's interested in drama and causing issues.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So anyway, he's best friends with Anderson Cooper, and apparently he's sticking up for him in this whole Kathy thing. And anyway, she went on and on about how horrible a person he is and whatever else. So I just know if you'd heard about that, but I wondered if you would be surprised.
I didn't. I just read the caption. I didn't click on it, but I think blogger B Scott made a post about it.
Yeah,
and said something about it, but I didn't read the details. But the fact that he says that he wants to go around and ask "Oh, you want to do some blow before the show?" That doesn't surprise me for some reason. I don't know if I should be shocked at myself for saying that.
Well, he said that it was. He said it was all lies. None of it's true, and that's what he said. But I don't believe him. But whatever. I believe her.
I mean, that's kind of extreme for. But that's what I'm saying, because I'm that's kind of extreme for someone to just make that up.
That's the thing about her. She doesn't make things up. She tells the truth about all these people she runs into, celebrities and stuff. She tells the truth about them. She doesn't need to make shit up. So.
But again, it's Hollywood. That's part of the circle. Drugs and all that shit is readily available in the industry, and I mean they've had documentaries about that shit.
On
TV
know.
about people fly in and they have professional drug runners and all kinds of
right.
shit. I've seen it on TV. But so I mean I for some reason that doesn't surprise me.
So last topic before we go, you said Grindr is being sued for what?
Yes. Grindr is being sued by a former employee. He says that the HR supervisor drugged and raped him at a Christmas party. It says a former Grindr employee is suing the gay dating service, claiming that the human resources supervisor slipped him a drug at the company's 2016 Christmas party and anally raped him. Why did they put that in? Anally raped him? I mean, as if he has a vagina or something. But I mean, honestly, let's just pause it for a moment. Why would you put in anally raped him? I mean,
I guess you can be raped.
Probably some.
You can be raped in your mouth. I mean, he could have fucked him in the mouth, but I guess that's why.
I mean, well, yeah, but I mean, to put in anally is kind of he doesn't have a vagina.
Superfluous.
So,
yeah.
But anyway,
mm-hmm.
It says the plaintiff, who is listed as John Doe, claims that Daniel Cabanero, I hope I'm saying that right, is the one who drugged him and allegedly put him in a car and took him to a hotel room where he anally penetrated him. It says John Doe says he woke up and Cabanero was holding him down on the bed in the middle of the sexual act. He says he lost consciousness again, and then when he regained it, he immediately went to the ER where he was subjected to a highly invasive and rape examination.
That's sad.
He says he went to law enforcement, which conducted an investigation, and he believes the investigation is ongoing. He said JD goes on to claim various Grindr officers were aware that he was impaired at the party, but did nothing to protect his health and safety. Why would they protect you at a party?
What do you mean? Why would they protect him at the party? If he's saying help me,
he says that the plaintiff goes on to claim that various Grindr officers, I don't know if these are in-house security or something, were aware that he was impaired at the party, but did nothing to but did nothing to protect his health and
I
safety.
think he
But
means
why would they?
officers, like people who are like vice presidents and things like that.
But I mean, but even if that's the case, why would they protect his health and safety? He's at a party.
I don't know. I mean, it's not. I don't know.
It doesn't make any sense.
If
like,
someone is aware that
mean,
if someone is aware he's being
what-
assaulted and they don't do anything, then yes, they're liable. But if they're not aware that anything's happening, they're not liable.
No, they didn't say that he. They didn't say that. But they didn't say that he was. They didn't say that he was aware that he was assaulted. They just said that they were aware that he was impaired. But I mean, okay,
It's not
anyway,
up to them. It's not up. No, I agree. It's not up to them if he's impaired. Meaning, was he drugged or was he drunk? He was drugged. He thought.
They say he was drugged.
So, but it's not their responsibility to make sure that he doesn't get raped.
Exactly. If you want to make sure that your health and safety is good while you're at a party, you should have brought your mother with you or your sister. Or
Well,
your friend,
I mean,
something like
that to be fair, it's not his fault if he was drugged by somebody without his knowledge.
No. I'm not saying that.
But yes.
But this particular quote, it seems a little questionable. He says, it goes on to claim that various Grindr officers were aware that he was impaired at the party, but did nothing to protect his health and safety.
Well, I don't know what that means, so whatever.
Why would they protect him?
I mean,
I don't know either, but based on what they've written, it sounds like.
I don't think when anyone goes to a party, when anyone goes to a party, I don't think there's any expectation of protection from the people who threw the party. It's just stupid to me. I mean, you go to a party, shit happens. So I'm not saying this should have happened to him. I'm just saying you can't put it on the people who threw the party unless they were complicit in it. So.
Right. And it says the plaintiff also claims the company encouraged sexually explicit language, sexual innuendo, and sexual misconduct. Says TMZ reached out to Grindr and so far no word back. So, I mean,
whatever.
I mean, I hate that this happened to him, but just that one phrase has me a little confused. And I'm not saying that if he was taken advantage of and that type of thing, then by all means he needs to, be compensated for whatever he has to go through and that type of thing. But I feel like I need to know more. It feels like I don't know enough to make a decision on this. So
before we go, your birthday's Saturday, right?
Yes, my birthday is Saturday.
How old will you be?
How old? 35.
35?
And I am, and I'm pretty bummed.
Why?
So, yes, I found a gray hair today.
Oh, God.
I was confident.
Your audio is going in and out really bad right now, by the way.
I found a gray hair and I'm like,
you're completely dying. If you listen back to the show, you'll be like, I can't hear you. That's okay. We should end the show anyway.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Speak.
Okay. So, yes, I'm going to be 35 on Saturday, and I'm pretty bummed about it, but it is what it is. I'm still going to have a good time. And, yeah, that's going to be it. So I'm actually going to eat tomorrow night with some friends. They're taking me out to eat at Ida Claire in Addison.
Oh, that's a good place. I love it.
I've never been there before, but I read their Yelp reviews, and it's really, really good. I've actually heard people who've actually been there say that they have really good food. So I'm really excited about that.
It is good food.
Saturday is my actual birthday. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I'm still trying to figure that out. I should have figured this out like weeks ago.
You need to go get laid.
Yeah, that's one. That's one.
It's your birthday.
All I want for my birthday is a big booty hoe. So,
well, I hope you find it.
So, and then also, yeah. So then also, and I also wanted to throw this in here. So have you been watching VH1's Daytime Divas?
What do you think?
I'm gonna say no. No, yeah, I'm gonna say yes because you like Vanessa Williams.
Hell no, I haven't watching Daytime Divas. No.
Oh,
I don't even know what it is.
It's the show that comes on VH1 with Vanessa Williams.
Oh, the one that's about that book that What's Her Face wrote.
Right.
Oh, okay, continue.
So they're not going to be, they canceled it. It won't be coming back for season 2, which I'm so heartbroken because I was really into the show.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't say why. They didn't say why they canceled it, but they just said that they just had a post saying that Daytime Divas will not be returning for season 2. Which is kind of crazy to me because if you remember before the show premiered, they promoted the fuck out of that show.
Well, it has to have an audience, and the
I
audience
mean, it
isn't
was
big
on
enough.
billboards, it was on commercials,
The audience that
but
found it
it
isn't
had a
big
good
enough.
audience. They had the audience.
They don't have the audience, otherwise they would be canceling it. There's no reason for them to cancel it. They don't have enough people, viewers, watching it. They don't have enough share, so that's why they're canceling it. Sorry. There's plenty of shows I've watched that got canceled that I love that were excellent shows. So just because it's an excellent show doesn't mean it won't get canceled. As long as the money's there and the viewers are there, it won't get canceled. But apparently one of the others not there. So sorry.
I haven't felt this bad since they did since they canceled the New Normal. Remember they had the New Normal?
I loved the New Normal. Yeah, with Nene. Yeah, it was a good show.
And I was so bummed when they canceled that too.
Oh well, c'est la vie. That's the way it goes in Hollywood. As we said, Hollywood sucks. So it's what it is. So anyway. Okay, everybody. That's the end of our show. We're going to be back next week on... What will be next week? That'll be the 9th? November 9th, 2 days before
November 9th.
Actually, 2 days after my 8th anniversary. 10 years together with my husband and 8 years married on the 7th this month. So...
Yay. Oh, the 7th, I'm going to the Jay-Z concert.
I won't be there. And so we'll see you on the 9th, everybody. And if you want to find out more about us, like I said at the beginning of the show, you can go to gxyz.com, Spreaker.com, iHeartRadio. By the way, iHeartRadio only broadcasts after the show. It only broadcasts post-show. So if you want to hear the show live, you have to listen on gayxyz.com or Spreaker.com to hear the show that way. So hope to hear from you guys again soon. Hope you follow us back next week, and we love you all, and we'll talk to you later. Have a great night. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye. Stay gay.